After Ukraine's stunning victory in Kherson, attention is quickly shifting to the strategic Kinburn Peninsula in the south of Ukraine. French President Emmanuel Macron arrives in the US for the first state visit of any nation during the presidency of Joe Biden. Signs of destruction are everywhere in the Mykolaiv region of South Ukraine. But after the recapture of Kherson from Russia, Kyiv is pressing on. It now has its sights on the strategically important Kinburn Peninsula. It juts out from the south bank of the Dnieper River, possibly allowing Ukraine to outflank Russian soldiers if it's captured. But before that, mines need to be cleared. This Ukrainian army engineer says, "We have searched 2 hectares and found 50 mines. 10 of them were visible." Further away in the eastern Donetsk region, Ukrainian soldiers are using a multiple rocket launcher to target Russian supply lines. One soldier said, "We move to a position, take a position, deploy the car, aim and fire. After that, we quickly roll up and leave the shooting site." Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry claims their troops have hit a Ukrainian weapons depot in Zaporizhia, as well as killing dozens of Ukrainian troops in the Donetsk region, in Kharkiv and in Kherson. It also says it shot down 9 Ukrainian unmanned drones. However, Kyiv's forces say they're determined to hold strong, despite the heavy Russian artillery bombardment.
For many in Ukraine's capital, the very act of getting clean drinking water is exhausting. Without electricity, one young couple in Kyiv has to walk up and down 19 floors to get bottled water to their apartment, since the lift doesn't work. That's 360 steps, making the journey exhausting and keeping them inside with their 3-month-old twins most of the time. They don't know how much longer they can stay in the city, but moving abroad isn't an option because of a ban on military-aged men from leaving the country.
So we have no electricity, and as a result, we have no heating, no water, nothing.
Water is no.
So as you can see, we can't do dishes. We can't cook ordinary cook. Yeah.
We used like frozen a balcony.
Yeah. Like a fridge. Yeah.
Yeah, the balcony is a fridge.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
They are forced to use a gas hub to boil water.
So we have a cup of hot water.
We are the family, and we have to go through all this, through everything together. And Ukraine is my country.
Around 6 million people in Ukraine and 25% of Kyiv are living in a similar situation, which could become worse as temperatures drop and winter approaches.
More than 70,000 euros has been collected in donations in just 10 days in the Czech Republic to provide much-needed generators for Ukraine. 36 will leave for the country this week to help areas without power, especially in the south and east. The director of this charity said, "In Ukraine, the #1 priority right now is generators, generators and generators again. And of course direct heaters that are independent of electricity. We even managed to get one refurbished large 400 kilovolt generator. I don't want to give a specific location, but it will provide power for a water plant for a town of around 100,000 people." And it's not just the Czech Republic who is sending generators to Ukraine. Poland is also keen to help. In Kherson, local authorities have set up many charging points in a city which has endured 260 Russian bombings in just 1 week. Elsewhere, regions are often connected to the power system for just a few hours a day. The Prime Minister of Ukraine says, yes, the situation is difficult, there is a deficit, but with a deficiency of 30% in the network system costs and priority recovery of critical infrastructure for the population in each region, 50 to 60% remains to cover needs. That is enough to evenly distribute a load of forced shutdowns among all consumers. The Ukrainian Prime Minister added that he thought there would be enough resources to get through the winter period like this.
French President Emmanuel Macron has arrived in Washington, D.C. as the guest for the first state visit of Joe Biden's presidency. It'll be a revival of diplomatic pageantry that's been on hold because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Macron and Biden will meet at the White House with a long agenda planned for Thursday.
If you look at what's going on in Ukraine, look at what's going on in the Indo-Pacific and the tensions with China, France is really at the center of all those things. And President Macron has been a dynamic leader inside the G7, particularly there in Europe. And so the president felt that this was exactly the right and the most appropriate country to start with for state visits.
It's a significant visit from America's oldest ally, and the White House has been preparing for his arrival for days.
I volunteered to help decorate the White House the last 3 days, and I was there Monday when the revealing, and so he's going to see such beautiful Christmas decorations in there, and it's going to be overwhelming because it was a lot of people came in from all over the states to help.
The last time Macron visited the White House was in April 2018 to meet President Donald Trump. On Friday, he will head to New Orleans to announce plans to expand programming to support French language education in US schools. French butchers and sausage makers protested on Tuesday against the soaring prices of energy outside the lower house of Parliament. They're complaining about the rising cost of refrigerating their meat and urge butcher shops to turn off the lights as a symbolic gesture against the rising costs of electricity. Activists want the government to adopt similar policies to those found in Germany, Spain and Portugal, where gas and electricity prices are not index-linked, and as a result 4 to 5 times less expensive than in France. 5 Palestinians have been allegedly killed by Israeli forces during 4 separate incidents in the occupied West Bank. 2 of them were brothers in their early 20s and both were students. According to reports, 9 others were shot by live bullets and are in a stable condition. Another man rammed his car into an Israeli woman, seriously injuring her before he was shot dead by Israeli forces, officials said. Tensions between Israelis and Palestinians have been on the rise for months amid nightly Israeli raids in the West Bank. A busy highway along the Lebanese coast was submerged on Tuesday after heavy rain. The infrastructure for proper drainage has been in disrepair after many years of an economic crisis and increasing public debt. In October, the first downpour of the year flooded several coastal towns along the Mediterranean Sea, damaging the national grid. Officials say the recent bad weather conditions are likely to continue on Wednesday, with possible snow on higher ground.
England have finished top of Football World Cup Group B with a comfortable 3-0 win over Wales. Phil Foden and Marcus Rashford with 2, the scorers. They're joined by the USA, who won their needle match with Iran thanks to the only goal of the game from Christian Pulisic. Those results leave Wales bottom of the table with just 1 point, while Iran finished third.
Earlier on Tuesday, Netherlands punched their ticket to the round of 16 for the 11th time in team history. The Dutch finished atop Group A with a 2-0 victory over host country Qatar. Meanwhile, it was a thriller at the Khalifa International Stadium as Senegal also advanced. Playing without superstar Sadio Mane, it was a must-win game for the Lions of Teranga, and they roared past Ecuador 2-1. After Moises Caicedo netted the equalizer in the 67th minute, Kalidou Koulibaly responded with the game winner to send Senegal, the champions of Africa, to the round of 16. Adil Halim, Euronews, Doha.